Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's 12th episode of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the GM and creator of the campaign, Puck Finn, and for those rejoining us, welcome back. For those joining us for the first time, welcome. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go over some brief announcements, and then we'll go into our introductions and recaps, and then we'll start on with the campaign. So, first and foremost, I always like to talk about our Discord server. For those who are not part of it, it is always highly suggested that you join. Our Discord server is a growing community where all things tabletop RPG are discussed. It can do with our campaign, it can do with, anything really that interests you on any level. There's currently a lot of new things going on in the tabletop community, and uh, our Discord is a good place to keep up to date with it. On top of that, there's also general chats. There is a loot chat, which is a really great way to be interactive with the campaign without actually playing. So if you're somebody who kind of wants to be part of it but doesn't really want to delve into the whole role playing and um, character creation and things like that, that is a more limited way that you can participate. Um, you can, in our loot chat, you can either purchase coins or claim dailies, which give you free coins, and both of those things can add up to very interesting purchases, both things that affect the in-game outcome by giving bonuses to our players, hindering outcome by giving bonuses to the enemies, or any number of out-of-game things, such as letting me DM a one-shot for you. So, as I said, if you're not a part of it, definitely check it out. We try to integrate the Discord server with as much as possible. And on top of that, we have a link tree which contains all of our other links, including our YouTube channel. It includes all of the Twitch channels that we have raided thus far. Last week, we ended up doing a raid. The channel was, if I misspeak, it is on our link tree. It's, I think, Mad Cat 1977 off the top of my head. If I misspoke, I apologize. But so what happens is at the end of our broadcast, we see if we have anybody who is following us, who is currently broadcasting. And if somebody is broadcasting, then we will either raid that channel or we will raid one of the channels at random if multiple people are broadcasting. So the whole purpose of this is to pretty much, one, give you an opportunity to promote your channel, and two, it helps to bring the community together and find similar interests that may or may not involve things connected to this campaign. Quite honestly, Mad Cats was playing a game, and I don't even remember the name of the game, but it looked really cool. It was something that I never played. So, if you're interested, and one of the things that we also do is if we end up rating your channel, if we will post your channel on our link tree. Yeah, so the link to Mad Cat as well as two other channels which we have rated in the past is also on our link tree. So they're all awesome people, and I highly recommend if you have the time, check each and every one of them out. They all have something special and unique to offer, just as I hope we do here. Every we I'm rewording this again. I have up until this most recent episode, I've been very good about having our episodes uploaded by Monday after the broadcast. I've been very busy with many things. I believe next time that we have our next broadcast, hopefully, I will be able to officially announce what I've been doing, what's been going on, and what has had me so distracted. But I'm very excited about it, and it's very positive news. So I want to appreciate everyone who's been picking up the slack for me, everyone who's been helping out. Most notably, the thumbnail for last session's episode was done by none other than Deacon, who created the thumbnail of Leto carrying his magical item, which we are currently in the process of learning what it does. And we'll talk about that in the recap in just a moment. But with that being said, I would like to introduce you to our players for the night. Hey, all right. So let me make sure I got all right. So, starting to our left, we have Gully. How you doing, Gully?
Hello. Doing great.
Good to hear.
Looking forward to some more shenanigans.
They are never in short supply, and I always look forward to them as well. So thank you for coming. Always a pleasure to have you. And I look forward to how tonight develops. Next to Gully, we have Deacon. How you doing, Deacon?
Hello. It me, Deacon. I'm me also ready for mischief. So much mischief.
So much mischief, yes. And once again, thank you for the thumbnail. You did an amazing job, and it looks great.
Really glad to hear it. Hope everybody like it. Thank.
Next, we have Leto. How you doing, Leto?
Hello, everybody. Just remember, life is like a box of chocolate, but sometimes you just want Skittles.
Yes. Sometimes you do want Skittles. And you know what? No matter what color a Skittle is, it's all the same flavor.
Taste the rainbow. It all tastes the same, apparently.
I just dropped out. I know that is like a big point of it is a highly opinionated thing in the candy community, and I have been both proven and disproven on the matter. But yes, and maybe we'll talk about that next week in our chat session. I'll get a bag of Skittles and I will blindfold myself, and we will see if I can figure out what color Skittle I'm eating. So,
Gil.
so and
Well, that
last,
should be very good.
yes, and last but of course always not least, we have Afine. How you doing, Afine?
Hey, I'm doing greatest now, craving chocolate.
Right.
Yes, I could go for a nice handful of Reese's Pieces right about now after that. And so, yeah. So that is our introductions, and so the recap. First, I'll start off with the explanation of our thumbnail. The explanation of our thumbnail is Leto holding a. For the time being, we're going to call it a Master Sword because we have nothing better or more accurate to name it by. So it is considered to be Leto's Master Sword. So the reason for that is Leto had a hilt of a Master Sword from a prior timeline. And the Master Sword also exists in this timeline. So from then to now, something happened. And initially, this Master Sword was just a hilt. And what had happened was, when tested against Qyburn's staff, which our players found out was a phylactery, specifically of Qyburn, the hilt of the blade destroyed the staff. And later on, it was discovered that a bit of blade had regenerated onto the hilt. And when tested a second time against the Black Ocarina, it then also shattered the Black Ocarina, which our players came to the fair and accurate conclusion that too was a phylactery, but we don't know whose phylactery. So the sword was tested a number of times against a number of living and non-living beings, a few players of different alignment to really test the scope of what this item can do. And thus far, it has been determined that the sword, no matter how pointy, is not sharp, causes no damage, but will effortlessly destroys a phylactery. One, the more of the blade becomes repaired, and two, whatever unique properties that the destroyed phylactery had gets absorbed into the sword. And for this, what this means currently in the campaign is that Qyburn's staff had the ability to mind read with a set number of charges, and those charges have gone into the sword. And the Black Ocarina was noted to be the key to get into the Fire Temple. And now this sword is, for one, will be acting as the key to get into the Fire Temple, but will also circumvent the need for the prophecy that was attached to the Black Ocarina, because now technically no song needs to be played, and therefore no time traveling or no being existing outside of time needs to be found or discovered to play the song on the Black Ocarina. So, yeah, that is what we've learned about the sword so far, and that is why Leto holding that unique looking Master Sword is the thumbnail to last session's episode. So a few other things that happened in the last episode is our party revisited Bradford. Bradford is an NPC that works inside Hyrule Castle in a permit office next to the armory that is run by Ken, who also runs another armory business with Deacon known as Deacon's Armory. And to yes, we will get to Gully's breakfast. So what had happened was it was discovered that Bradford was and is currently, but was not before, undead. So what this means was this goes back to when Leto had cast Gias on Bradford, and Bradford, through his own forgetfulness, was unable to carry out the commands, and in suffering the damage from the spell, resulted in his death. How he became to be undead has still not been clarified. It is a bit of a mystery, but he seems to be much happier. He seems to be more content with his position in life. He seems strangely joyous at the fact that now he has no need to eat, drink, or sleep, so he never leaves his job and he continues to work his clerical position in the permit office. A bit of a strange creature, but nonetheless, he seems to be very content with that. Our party has also realized that because of this, he has no need to, since he has no need to go home, and that is where his checks are forwarded, that he has not been collecting payments, and they see very bright shining rupees in their eyes for these checks that have yet to be claimed. So our last session did end up with a breakfast trip, and Gully did get his long sought after breakfast. They went to the brunch at the inn, and I believe this is one of the first, if not few times, where they were able to enjoy their time at the inn without any type of problems. You know, no heavy drinkers started any problems. No people were trying to break into reserved rooms. There was a number of things, and they did come to. They believe they came to an understanding with the hostess that that they were on the same page with things, and I'll word it that way. Um, Spooky Sword Mask, Mirror. Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm going to point out this one last recap, and then we're going to get into it. So, Leto is now in possession of a mask, a mirror, which he was able to scry with. Based on the general span of time that has happened from Qyburn's previous death to the time that he was discovered to be a lich to the time that his phylactery was destroyed, it is fair to assume that Qyburn is still at large. And so Leto attempted to scry to find his location. And in doing that, the problem was that Qyburn was then discovered to not be on this plane of existence. So there is a fair possibility that, depending on how things go tonight, that we will be able to elaborate on that. But for the time being, it is simply put that Qyburn is not to be found anywhere in the physical land of Hyrule. So, with that being said, let's get down to it. All right. So, at this point, we have exited Bradford's office. And I assume once you leave, you're heading back into Hyrule Castle Town, or is there something else that you would like to go and do?
Well, going to Hyrule Castle Town does sound kind of nice. I think. Oh, sorry. Um, hmm, I think. Um, well, actually, did you guys have anything else you wanted to do? I should ask you guys first. Sorry.
I saw a look on Leto's face. I know that look.
You know, I always have things to do, but I'll give everybody else a chance because, I might, take too much time. So feel free to use the time that I'm giving you before I take the time that I'll use to take.
Okay. Thank you, Lito. Okay. So, hmm, one of the things me been a little curious about. Are we in like relative privacy in the hallway?
Uh, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, there's really just the two shops, and um, yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, I am going to. I'm gonna say me forgot one very important part of information that I think should have shared a long time ago, but me forgot about. So temples, right? Um, when me described that Yiga attack on Hyrule Castletown in the slums with the Redeads and such, um part of that is they came through temple in graveyard. One thing about Yiga seems to be that they, at least in my world, used to be able to come through the temples and use them as strategic points to attack certain other places. Kind of surprised that type of thing hasn't happened in Goron Village. Guessing Darunia is keeping them at bay. Um, so basically, part of that, you see, is there might be a little bit more investigate here than initially thought, because that somehow just crept into my mind that they have a graveyard here. Thought that if nothing else, Spooky Sword might find something extra spooky in graveyard. Also, I feel like we should probably talk about the sword at some point. They're really spooky and evil and that kind of weird.
I don't think my sword is spooky and evil. I think it's kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool. But in spooky kind of way. Have you tried? Okay, so hear me out on this, Lido. Okay?
Yeah.
Cast Detect Thoughts on the sword. That's the
I
one
will
thing that we have.
do that as soon as I know how to do that.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to do that.
Oh. You can't use the sword to cast Detect Thoughts anymore? I thought we could do that.
Oh,
I thought
that. So you want me to cast Detect Thoughts on the sword?
Yes.
With the sword.
Yes.
Hmm.
Commune.
Okay. So I will take the sword out of the bag of holding
Mhm.
and I look around, make sure nobody's spying on us, whatnot like that. And then focus on the sword and try and cast Detect Thought on the sword.
Okay, so I'm going to start that off by recapping the first time that you have done this. Um, I believe the first time you did this, you had the physical staff and you cast it on the sword. So when you had done this, I had narrated that there was a consciousness to the sword, and that you had heard what sounded like either multiple voices overlapping as they spoke to each other, or simply one voice that was speaking in such a way that it made it difficult to kind of separate what it was saying. The first time it was cast, the voice was also very faint, and with it, it did not appear to have um, cohesive thoughts. And this
Okay.
time you cast it, I will say that the voice itself does come out a little bit louder It's still faint and weak, but it has a singular voice at this point. And although the voice itself is expressing one single thought over and over again, and this thought is simply more, again, just over and over.
So, good news and not so good news because he's not really bad. So, the sword has kind of like a mind to it.
Oh, so it is evil.
No.
Just
It-
because something can think doesn't make it evil.
But Gully sniffed it when it was evil. We
Mhm.
remember this because Chimkin,
Oh, right.
Chimkin was an angelic song because he used to detect good and evil, and
Right,
it
sorry.
was
Also-
Okay.
picked up
We should
evil.
burn it.
Yep. Gully did detect a very slight noxious odor coming from it.
Oh, great. The smelly evil sword has a smelly evil presence within it.
Stinky.
I can take care of the smell. I got
Can you
lots of
take care
herbs
of
that
the
can make
evil?
it smell better.
Wait. Is this thing gonna make you evil? Or are you already evil?
I don't know. Maybe.
Ooh, let me hold
Maybe I'm
it.
not.
Maybe I'm evil.
Whoa, wait. Before you just start passing this thing all around willy-nilly,
Okay.
we need to make sure that Lito's okay. How can we make sure he's not possessed by this thing? How do we know you're still you?
Well, I hit myself with the sword, so I didn't, turn into like dust and go away.
You didn't turn into dust, but how do we know you're still in control?
Well, I haven't taken the sword
How
out of
many
the bag.
fingers am I holding up?
12.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Okay. But again, I haven't taken the sword out of the bag since we started this kind of time. So, in theory, if I was evil, it only started recently.
It only takes a moment. Mr. 12 Fingers.
Mm.
Well, I just think maybe before we smash next thing that it want more of, maybe we not immediately do that until we sure what we should do.
Wait, I could prove that it's not evil.
Okay.
Pro touched it.
Yeah, and he got electric zapped by it on his hand, and he could not physically hold it.
I retract my statement.
Everything about this screams like ultimate evil. I'm actually pretty sure. Deacon says, "I'm pretty sure that if anything, this is probably Ganon's sword or something. Like it's collecting all the life essence of his minions, and then when it's got all of them, he shows up and kick our butt with it. That would me think.
It's also collecting the keys to the temple, so it might be collecting the only ways in so no one else can get in.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm giving it exactly what it wants, potentially.
Well, we can always try and like identify it.
oh, he did do that. That's how we found out that it can actually do that ED thing with the absorb the abilities. I'll identify
See?
it again though.
Do we want to do it like in a hallway, or do we want to like go somewhere else?
Oh, true. We should go back to Cetos.
Also, Ikun, I came up with a great name for your new toy.
Ooh, what got in mind?
So, it shoots now like these leaves, right? I made for it.
Mhm.
And they're like razor sharp.
Nice.
So, what if you call it Razor Leaf? And then I can go, use Razor Leaf Ikun.
That sounds perfect.
I
love
like
it.
that.
I love it. I love it.
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
I came up with that last week and was like, how did I get this?
Perfect.
Yep. Bring some Pokemon into this game.
Hell yeah.
So, also, when we get back to Cedos, I've come up with some names for the sword, but you guys can also add some. But, if we're going to keep it for a while, we should name it something.
I agree. Every
How
good,
about-
powerful, evil weapon deserves a good, powerful, evil name. Just kidding. No, but me look
Or it's a
forward to
good weapon that's just destroys evil, so it keeps evil inside of it, which makes it not evil.
Nah, that
Misunderstood
thing's
weapon.
evil. We should just call it death.
Maybe we
I
should
like
put a
that.
label on it saying evil, do not touch or use or listen to.
That's a great name, Afine.
Pretty
I
sure
like
I could
that.
get like a tag from the store and put it on that. But then if we find it any more like, phylacteries, are we not supposed to destroy them?
I think we have to look into alternate means of destruction.
I kind of like the
Making
sword.
the evil
I like it too.
sword more powerful just seems counterproductive.
I feel like, unfortunately, we have sussed out too many things about this. I like it, and it was a great idea. In fact, I think it outright necessary to get us into Goron Fortress. And I think we have to be very careful where we go from here. Last time me gave in to something like this, worst decision me ever made 6 times over. But
Ooh.
6 times over, yeah, that's pretty bad.
unfortunately, we made the decision 6 times, and then yeah, it was not a good idea. It was not good.
Deacon, really? 6 times? You
Sunk
didn't get it
cost.
after 1 or 2? I mean, 2, come on. But 6
No.
times?
Sunk
Deacon.
cost. Deacon nods slowly. He like opens his palms and like looks at his hands, flexes his fingers, and just goes, "Sunk cost, not worth. Never worth."
Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is that we learn and grow from them, even if it takes a little time.
Be very
Yeah,
lucky
yeah.
to have New World to do that, where the alchemists are all still alive and not rocks.
So let me ask you a question to
It's not
elaborate on this for
depressing at all.
Deacon. So as Deacon's looking down on his hands and he's flexing his fingers, and he undoubtedly feels no small amount of regret for what happened in the past. Is there any part of him that also misses it? The power and the ability that it brought him.
I mean, honestly, like, I think that, like, this point, that's a tough one. Because to be honest, the disgust that he's felt since, like, the last thing that he had to do has just been a weight to sagging his entire experience with the thing at this point. Like, I think when he looks at his hands, like, he just sees blood at this point. And I don't think there's much more than that.
That is fair.
Like, I don't know, like, just like, because at this point, right, just to explain a little bit,
Mhm.
he's had the chance to like actually meet some alchemists at this point, and they're like alive, and it's like, I think that's like, what I mean to say is, I think at this point he wouldn't trade that for the world. Um, like if it's like, so just to like, compare that to even like Isaac, he's just like, he could never, conceptualize doing that again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. That is that's good to hear. So, but yes, now you're still faced with this ever evolving sword with a growing consciousness, and although not a powerful weapon in itself, has very powerful capabilities. And yeah, this is this is definitely going to be an interesting thing to flesh out as the adventure continues. Um, so, um, what is your next step?
Cetos?
Cedo sounds good.
Cetos it is.
All right. So you head into Cito's, and at this point, it's like late afternoon. Yeah, I'd say maybe just teetering on early evening. So there's still a good bit of time left in the day.
Isaac is still there, right?
I'm sorry?
Isaac is still there?
Hmm. Isaac is still there. All of the shops in Hyrule Castle Town are still open, including Cito's.
So, we need to give Isaac, the pieces of, crystal, lava stuff. So that way he can then make, alchemist fire.
Thank you.
So,
I dig in my bag and I pull out the 2 hardened magma chunks I managed to get. Or chunks, sorry.
All right. So give. Oh, okay. So in the how large do you feel compared to Deacon that these chunks are that you were able to retrieve?
I honestly assume they were like maybe the size of Dekun's hand, which is fairly small.
Okay.
Like
So
not in his entire hand, but like his palm at best, because he's kind of small.
okay. So I would say that uh each rock is roughly about, let's say, 4 ounces.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think
Okay.
100 grams. Yeah, that sounds good.
So yeah. All right. So hold on. Back to the right thing. Okay. So you present the lava rocks to Isaac, and he's overjoyed at at the rare commodity that you have brought to him. So yes, yes, wonderful, wonderful. Uh, where's the rest?
Ooh. Uh, hmm. Sorry, I think, could I borrow those fire flowers from someone else?
okay.
Thanks. I didn't
How
actually
many do you
manage to
need?
get.
I have like 14.
I guess just like 1 or 2.
Okay.
Thanks. I whisper to Gully. Maybe okay. I don't think he possessed. He's still pretty nice.
It could be an act, but we'll just go with it for now.
He's doing well.
So you,
Sorry.
so you hand him. I'm sorry, you said 3 fire flowers.
Oh, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I put up on
Using
roll
his
20.
pride.
Yeah. So just as a refresher, I put up the recipe on roll 20 for you guys.
Nice. Oh yeah, I forgot we had to go to Zora's Domain for this. That sounds fun.
So he takes the fire flowers. He goes, yes, and the water and the flint rocks.
Sorry, no, not
Ah,
yet. We haven't gone to Zora's Domain, but safekeeping.
okay, very nice. And he kind of like takes them and he brings them over to one of his infinite number of drawers, and he puts the rocks in one of the drawers, and he puts the fire flowers in another drawer. And he goes, yes. When and
Yes,
he's now visibly excited. he's
yes.
like, when you get the flint rocks and the water, come back, and I'll take care of this.
Will do. Oh, hey Isaac, can you do anything with Lost Wood spring water? It kind of old at this point. Not sure if that loses its potency after being old.
He goes, well, I mean, every specific water should have its own very special property. So, although nothing readily comes to mind, I can definitely look through my recipe book and see what I can do for you.
Thanks. I have 17 water skins of it still, so you may also have some if you would like a taste of it. Not sure if you've ever been there to taste it before.
I have not. The
Make it 16 water skins. I give him one.
Okay. And he kind of like holds it up as if he's like gesturing that, like, just to make sure he can like take a sip.
I thumbs up.
Okay.
And nod.
He takes
Tasty water.
He takes a sip of it, and his eyes just ever so subtly just kind of roll back a little bit. And he goes,
It's got what plants crave.
This is some pure stuff. He's like, I could definitely work with this.
Nice. Here, I'll leave these with you. If you get thirsty, there's another one you can have, and I give him all 16.
Oh, wonderful, and he is visibly. Can I? Let me see if I can edit this now. So, all right. So his new inventory also includes 16 Lost Woods water skins, 8 ounces of call it Death Mountain glass. And did you give him something else? Oh, 3 fire flowers. 3 fire flowers. All right. So that is Isaac's inventory. I'll put that out to the side too. And he goes, so he goes, yes, thank you kindly, and I'll check my recipe book and I'll see what I can whip up for you guys.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Just had to make that stop. What was it? Did you want to go upstairs, Lito?
Yep.
Okay. I will saunter upstairs.
Lito going upstairs, that is a rarity. All right. So, do you go up by yourself, or do people follow?
I figured
like-
we were all going upstairs.
Yeah, it's like a brainstorming session, so I was hoping everybody would come up. Otherwise, I can do it by myself, but, talking to myself might lead to being evil.
This is true.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, Gully is definitely sticking close to him.
Even when you're by
Talking to
yourself, you're not by yourself, Leto.
yourself is fine. It's talking to the sword which is worrying.
Yeah.
But it wants very basic things. It wants more.
It's hungry. Are you gonna let it starve to death? Come on.
Right. As Fuzzy says in chat, it's basically a hungry child.
So it's fire, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna feed it.
And deny him a warrior's death?
Oh, jeez.
So, all right. Brainstorming session. So you guys all head to the upper area of Cedos, and you make yourselves comfortable as you begin this session. And since it was Leto who orchestrated this, how would you like to begin?
I will go over to Deacon's little, patch and be like, okay, I'm gonna sit here, you guys sit on the bed, and then Deacon, if you want to sit on my shoulder, that's fine.
Excellent. I perch
Okay.
on his shoulder.
Like
So
a good
I take out.
Pokemon.
Exactly.
I
I choose you,
the s-
Deacon.
So the sword comes back out, and I lay it down and go, okay, so name for the sword, and then if anybody else wants, like touch it, favorite evil, or whatnot like that.
So, to interject, as you put the sword down on the ground and you release the sword, this is a very strange sensation, and I'm not going to elaborate on it, but as you let go of the sword, it lets go of you. Okay. Continue.
So I've come up with quite a few names. Let's see if any of them, spark interest, whatnot like that. I was thinking, the exposed helve. As that's a name for like a sword piece and whatnot like that. The haft of helplessness. Mercy Shank.
Do love a good
And then
shank.
no. And then somehow other things came into my mind recently. So then there's Fate Render, Shattering Sting, or Hero Shadow.
You like Fate Render the best. Sound like
Soul
man.
Crusher.
Fiend?
I'm torn between Soul Crusher and Fate Render.
My vote definitely goes to Fate Render. So it sounds like we had impasse here.
Well,
Fate Crusher.
Fate Render, Fate Crusher. So Fate Render was a Leto original, so Fate Render.
Fate Render?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
It does destroy phylacteries, and people's fates are often tied to them.
Yeah, that sounds like a winner.
No Fate Render. I then proceed to pick it up and go, anybody want to touch or...
Nah, I'm good.
I feel like if I touch that, I will either turn evil myself or else teleport it into the sun. One of those two options. Not recommend either of those, to be honest.
Okay.
That was a joke.
Everything is telling me to say no, but on the other hand, I kind of have to do it out of curiosity.
You
Worth
want
a shot.
like the handle or actually like touch the blade?
The handle, please.
Okay. So I flip it over and Put out the handle to you.
I'm going to take it and try and see if I feel anything weird.
As you hold it, first of all, it feels very comfortable in your hand. And it also feels like sturdy, as if somebody tried to, they would not be able to knock it out of your hand.
Huh.
So,
It just feels like it just feels like it has a good handle. It's based off the
Gully,
masking sword, right? So master sword, right? So I suppose it should.
again, see, Gully, if it was evil, then now me and Athena are both evil.
I mean,
That
it's
we know.
quite possible that, yes, you are all tainted now. I don't know.
So
Just being
touch
cautious.
it, touch it, touch it.
Oh, so the two of you go down. You want me to go down with you?
One of us.
You know what? Fine. You know
Gobble,
what, Mito?
gobble.
You're my boy. Yes. One of us. One of us.
I hand you the
So-
sword.
Gobble, gobble.
So technically, Athene is still holding the sword.
Not yet. I flip it over and hand it over.
Okay. So as you release the sword, it too then you get the odd sensation that when you release the sword, it also releases your grasp.
And Gully comes over to grab it, and he does the middle school, thing of, oh, he's gonna touch it, he's gonna grab it, oh, and then he pulls his hand back and puts his hand on his head and doesn't touch it.
I'll take it
Nah,
back. I mean,
I'm good. It's okay.
I'll take it back and put it in the bag if you want.
Please, this may sound weird, but I don't think I trust anyone holding it for too long.
Gotcha.
See, a feet. Okay, good. All right.
How do you know that's not just evil me wanting no one else to hold its power?
That's fine. I'm going with that. That's good. I feel quite content in myself knowing that I did not touch it, and that only two of the four of us have touched it so far, and we shall keep it that way.
Okay. What if, to make you feel better and make sure it's not like evil and whatnot, like we go to the temple, and then if they have holy water or whatnot, we just pour holy water over it, and then the temple priest could be like, duh, 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 duh. See, it's not evil anymore.
I mean, I can do that.
I can do that.
Then why haven't you?
Well, because I already detected that it was evil.
But you said it smelled evil. I felt it, and it doesn't feel evil.
It
Does
doesn't
it feel
feel
evil?
evil to you, but my senses of smelling evil is letting me know that it is evil.
Yeah, but you wear a helmet all the time, so maybe your smell senses are,
Nah, because I can purify myself, and I do that quite often.
In private.
hopefully in private. So
I
there you
love
go.
how Lito is implying that the smell of evil was just a totally wicked fart.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to imply, but no, that's not it. That thing, it's just evil. It's not a bad fart.
It's a damn brunch.
So holy water it.
Sure, we'll put some holy water on it. But again, I already know it's evil. See, look at the water bubbling on it. It's evil.
So you pour holy water on it, or you're going somewhere to pour holy water on it. I don't know if you have holy water.
We'll get some water and I'll bless it. I'll lay hands on the water to make it holy.
You'll sanctify it.
Yes. So I go downstairs, get some water, sanctify it, say some prayers, come back up. Okay. Pour water on this little nub of a blade.
Okay. Who's holding the blade? Is anybody holding the blade?
I am.
Okay, so you're holding the. Okay. So, Leto, give me a perception check.
Is this something that I can just guidance myself with, or not?
You know what? It's this is a fairly prepared action. So I would say that yes, you can guide yourself on it. And I'm going to take two things into consideration. One is going to be your passive, and one's going to be the active.
So 19 active.
Okay, so both 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if this is prepared, could I give him an inspiration? Just out of
Yeah.
curiosity.
absolutely.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. If you want to roll that.
So 22.
Okay. So as we pour the holy water on the sword, what you notice with your passive is that as the water drops on the sword, it sizzles and steams and evaporates. What you notice with your active perception is that the water never actually touches the sword. It starts to evaporate anywhere between 1 to 2 inches away from the sword.
Inches, that's pretty far.
Mm.
Now, that doesn't tell you evil. I don't know what else is.
Well, no, it was evil, and you just washed it away, didn't you?
That's the evilest thing I can imagine.
Oh, great. You know what? Here, let's pour some more on there.
Okay.
Still evil.
Or it's a really hot sword.
What?
'Cause it's
Okay.
being held by me.
True. You should see the thumbnail.
Oh,
Maybe we should bless. Maybe we should bless a barrel of water and drop it in to see what happens.
What if to make Gully totally happy, you go down and just bless my pond, and I'll just go in that. Then you can go, I've been, blessed, and then the sword in theory will be blessed because it'll be submerged in water.
kind of like the barrel idea better, but okay.
You can do a barrel. I'm just not sure where you're
Because
going
I
to find
don't
a
want
barrel
you
of water.
in the pond with the sword. I mean, what if putting the sword in a completely blessed pond with you has a really bad reaction and you're in there in the water and you get boiled alive as well? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know.
Yeah, it did just boil the water. Not sure we want boiled Lido dinner.
Okay.
I mean, I do still care for you, Lito. I don't want to kill you in the process of trying to determine that the sword is even more evil than we already know it's evil.
Okay. What if? Are we going to be really doing a lot of stuff today?
Well, I mean, I did want to do some reading, and I know Deacon wants to go to the castle, so, I mean, I don't think we're doing a lot, but it just depends on, how long we're at the castle, whatever else you think up that you might want to do, because, I know you like doing lots of other things, so.
Well, I'm just saying that, you guys kind of saw that I turned into like an earth elemental and ran away. But I can do that also with water.
Cool.
So
Oh,
in
that makes
theory,
sense.
if you bless that, I'll be holding it the whole time, and it'll just be like sizzle from that form, and then once that form runs out of like life, it'll just be me again.
But blessing by
What?
I'll be made of water. And I'll be able to hold the
Mm-hmm.
sword, and then you bless me as the water, and then the water will be on the sword, and I'll just put the sword inside of myself, and then it'll just, and then if it
Yeah, I
boils,
mean,
I'll pop it out of me.
you're planning to
I've
commit
never tried that
seppuku?
before, but we could attempt it. I mean, you turn into a supernova and blow up. I mean, so be it. But I mean, we can try it. I don't know if it'll actually work.
Seppuku?
And do you want to go out into like the fields? That way, if it blows up,
If you truly want to try this, we can try it.
I'm just saying it takes a lot of energy from me. So if we have lots more to do today, it could be dangerous. I won't be able to do much more.
Feel this stream. Why don't we just put it in a barrel of water? Why do I need to use you as a as the container?
I was just offering. I thought it would be cool.
Let's not offer your body up for this experiment.
In theory, it wouldn't be my body.
Deacon's like
Okay,
eyes are
you know
crossed and
what?
there's a question mark above his
Define
head.
Deacon, you two hear this. You tell me, what do you think?
Deacon's like eyes are crossed and there's a question mark above his head.
Ifing looks equally confused. I'm struggling to come up with an argument against stabbing yourself with what would be an immensely hot sword, which isn't the usual you'll be stabbing yourself with an immensely hot sword argument.
Okay, what if instead of me, I just summon one?
Then we may have an
I
angry
mean, this still sounds
tournament.
cool, no matter how you shake it.
I think regular water is the way to go.
Okay. We have to find a barrel of water.
Let's
That's easy. We just need a barrel and we can easily get water. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably even create water. I don't know.
Not today.
Not today. Okay, that's fine. So I'll head downstairs and speak to the shopkeepers, one of the two whose names I cannot remember at this moment,
Cleo or Isaac?
Leo Isaac, and have them direct me towards a barrel or a bucket and some water. Oh, there's a pond. Scoop.
They direct you outside to a barrel that is tied to the rain gutters.
All right. Perfect. So Gully will obtain the barrel of water, that is used to capture the rain. If it is empty, he'll scoop some pond water from inside. If it already has rainwater in it, he'll then proceed to consecrate it. And then he'll bring it upstairs. All right, Lito,
Okay.
put it in there.
Wait. Before we do this,
Put it in.
if this blows up
Put it
Cetos,
in.
I'm going to be very upset.
Okay, do you want to go outside of Cetos? Want to go on the roof?
I
Want to go out in the
if I want to
fields?
go out in like the field. The field, that way, if it blows up, at least we don't really lose much.
Okay, let's go into the field.
Okay.
strap it up to Chimkin if you don't want to carry it.
Okay. So you somehow get the barrel of water out of Cetos. And you bring it to a, let's say, oh wait, you want to bring it to about here, just kind of like away from all of the shops.
No, outside of town.
Oh, you're gonna go all the way outside of town. Okay, so you're gonna go
If
into
it blows up in here, we don't want to hurt anybody. If it's outside in town, Oh no, some
Barrel
grass.
barrel shrapnel, not a good idea.
And especially good probably after the lightning incident.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So you start just carting this giant barrel of water, let's say a top chimkin, outside into Hyrule Castle Field. You get a couple of strange looks, but nobody is
Hi,
brave,
Rose of
stupid,
Hyrule.
interested enough to ask you what the collective of you is doing, carrying a barrel of water outside of town. But you shortly make your exit outside into Hyrule Field.
It does make me very. Sorry if I may interject with something.
No, you're good.
It makes me very happy that they are just coming to terms with the giant cuckoo walking around.
Yeah, it's just part of it at this point.
Sorry, it just occurred to me, to be honest.
So I will say, as you start to venture out of town, you will remember, like, you see the tree that you had remembered from the day during the prologue when you were following the doctor that was working for the
No.
bank.
No, that's the one that basically I found where Tony put the money for the doctor.
Yes. Yes. So as Deacon and Leto see the tree, that's more or less just a point of reference, because it's not very far outside of town. But so my question is, kind of from that point, is that like a good distance, or do you want to go a little further?
I think that's a good distance.
Okay. So you set the barrel down. The barrel has already been consecrated. And what would you like to do?
About how heavy is that sword hilt thing you got there?
Not. Kind of like weighs like nothing.
Okay. Do either of you have mage hand?
No.
Sorry, no.
Sorry, not yet.
Hmm.
I would say
Okay.
it's not
All right.
a magical ability of my person that I can
Okay.
learn.
I'll tell you what, Leto, why don't you go ahead, toss it into the barrel. Don't get close, just toss it in the barrel.
Okay.
All right.
So
Give
I will.
me an athletics check.
I'm going to hide myself. You
Okay.
said athletics.
Yeah, because you're throwing something.
I'm
Hey, maybe you should want to use one of those pools of D4s as well. A couple of those.
No, it's fine. An 8's fine.
I should have handed out you an inspiration for this one. Sorry, I was just drinking.
You know I'm not really that strong, right? I
That
go
never really
right
occurred to
back
me.
up.
Yeah. I just
May I
didn't
try
really
again?
want to touch it, but yeah, try again.
I'll give you an inspiration.
Just oh, there we go.
Okay.
I just
beautiful.
shot that sucker.
So
25.
all right. So
Oh,
it
Beautiful.
sinks in no problem, like just buckets. And so as you throw it, it kind of end over ends towards this barrel. And as it reaches the barrel, it lands the blade side pointing down with the hilt side pointing up. And for just a brief moment when it hits the water, it stands straight up as if it were being held by the barrel. And then it slowly begins to sink straight down and as it starts to sink straight down, you can see the more of the blade that gets submerged, the more starts to, the more kind of intense the steaming effect becomes, and the second that the blade is fully within the contents of the barrel bursts from the outside, from the bottom side out, and as like the wood settles and the water kind of flushes away from the scene, you can see that the blade is lying there, and it is completely bone dry.
It's fine.
Now do you believe it's evil?
Nope. I think it's just hot.
Yeah, hot evil.
No.
But
As a
hey,
person,
you know, I get
as a person who's had evil inside their body for quite a while, that doesn't seem that evil.
What?
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 Can
What?
I use shameful?
that definitely warrants a little more elaboration there, sir.
What?
You
Go
had
over and pick up
evil
the sword.
inside of your body.
Yeah, but it's gone now.
Okay, yes. Tell us more about this. I mean, were you possessed? Was it? I mean, what do we have going on here? You know, just a hitchhiker? What? I'm my
Okay.
mind's racing here.
So, in our time, me and Gullies, we happened to find, you weren't there, but everybody else in the group that's gone now is, we happened to find in the general store a ring
Mm-hmm.
that was magical, and the shopkeeper said every single time it was, bought by someone, it would always find its way back to the shop after the person died. So we, of course, proceeded to buy it because it was supposed to actually go to Tony in that time frame, which would have
Mm-hmm.
been if
Mm-hmm.
he would have died, which actually, whatever. So we took it, and we kind of didn't know exactly what it was. So we would hold on to it, and people would kind of like attack each other in the middle of the night, stuff like that. Nothing that big. We survived. So
What?
we then proceeded to put it in like a ball of like iron, and then it didn't do as much like evil stuff. And then we went to Dorito's domain, and we talked to the Faka and the Faka witch, and then they all started complaining about, I don't want to hold it because it's evil. I don't want to hold it because it's evil. It's your turn, blah blah blah. So I swallowed it.
Okay. And the end result of you swallowing it, what happened afterwards?
Well, first of all, found out that it had the soul of bestial Ganon in it. So that big deal. Whatever. Um, so after some time, I started looking a little different, and my animal form started to look a little darker. All in all, I kind of didn't feel that terrible, and it kind of started to look kind of cool. And then the cataclysm happened, and then it disappeared.
Hmm.
Except then it kind of
So you
popped up
pooped it out,
because
basically. Gotcha.
no, I didn't poop it out because it was still in me. I could always feel it. What happened was the cataclysm type event happened for me, and then I was with Dekun, and then we went around, and then it just so happened that Tony got it and gave it to Reggie, and Reggie died. And then Dekun cut it off his finger, and then we had it, and we don't have it anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
Hey, you just like evil things. Got it.
So,
Another mental note. Okay.
quick question. Is Leto attempting to be fully transparent about this, or is he just saying what he's saying?
Saying what he's saying.
Okay.
Then I go and pick up the sword.
Yeah, I gotta keep my eyes on you. Yeah, you love evil stuff, and that's not good. That's yeah. Your attraction to evil is really weird.
Well, in theory, I'm not as evil as what it could have been. Because when we brought it to Zelda, she kind of freaked out. She went all blah, and we had to take it away from her. So in theory, I'm kind of stronger than Zelda. Because I ain't go blah.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe it's just more compatible with you.
I just sent you a message back over Discord.
All right, I'm checking it.
But needless to say, you just destroyed my barrel, so hopefully you have the money to buy a new one. Because, the gutters, I don't want to flood everywhere. The sword I have, I'm going to put it away now, unless you have an idea.
No, go ahead, put it away.
10
Wait.
seconds, I might have an idea.
Okay.
Hold on. I do not have an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Or, Gully, do you know any holy places nearby that we can just bring it to and then see if it explodes?
Let's prevent explosions. Just keep it in the bag for now.
Okay.
And yeah, we will think about some other things versus putting more people in harm's way with potential explosions.
Okay. So, just to clarify, put it in the bag, and if we find another phylactery, don't destroy it with the sword?
Let's see if throwing the phylactery into Death Mountain will work.
Okay. You want to go now?
I just mean if we find another phylactery.
I mean, I'm good if you want to go now.
I can get us back to Death Mountain. Now. Think.
I don't know.
Double check.
Deacon, you want to go to the castle, so I mean, you want to go to the castle before you venture off to Death Mountain, or?
To be honest, there wasn't so much that me wanted to go to castle. I just wanted to check on cemeteries, see if they dug up where the temple was. But to be honest, it's not that big a deal. It was just so we know where it is for future reference. Don't really have anything me looking to do inside town except
I just like to point out, I'm not recommending throwing the sword into Death Mountain because if we do, we have very few ways of getting it back, which could be extremely dangerous.
Yeah, but we needed to open the temple.
Oh yeah, good point.
Let's see.
Catch 22. Catch 22. You know what? If we're gonna bring it all down and doom everyone and everything, let's just go ahead and get it over with. Let's go. Come on.
I feel that.
Okay. Everybody follow me to the tree.
To the tree.
To the tree.
When we get to the tree, I will cast. Whoop, not that one. Yeah, that one. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Sorry. Travel via plants, and I will do my nice little touch the tree and just, and then it'll crack open, and through the tree to the other side, which is basically right by the Moorbounder Pond. It's the closest one that I have.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
halfway between Goron Village
Nice.
and Dodongo Cavern. Okay, so
Voila!
you come out the tree to Toledo's self-made shrine, and there are 2 Gorons present at the spring, and they look at least mildly startled at your presence coming through the tree.
Greeting, mortals! We have come by the hand of a great god to bring peace and happiness.
Deacon like raises his hands and says, yes, we have come to praise his name. You see, we are going to bring peace to this land. Yes.
And their eyes widen, and they exit the spring, and they prostrate themselves in front of the Moorbounder statue and repeat your words. And
So that worked.
yeah,
Did
This whole time, you can kind of hear Gully kind of like almost snickering / chuckling, kind of under his breath at this.
So I don't know about you guys, but this has worked every time so far. So this is like an O and like nothing.
Hell yeah.
did you start a cult?
No, I created a spring to get rid of Yiga.
I not create cult, created God. Very big difference. Deacon.
Yeah.
Outside of his.
I just by chance happened to be.
So you created a cult to yourself?
No. I created a spring to protect the Gorons and anybody else that came by from having the Yiga hide up here and possibly attack people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so
Otherwise,
happened that they made a statue and people believe in it, and I've kind of helped it.
you see,
Oh yeah,
Isn't that
Yep.
heretical?
mhm.
as Leto is Archpriest, you see, he's been doing a good job of making sure that Yiga don't camp here. Back in my world, a bunch of Yiga were here and they tried to convert little Romeo. It not go well for them. They died, but they tried.
So in theory, I'm helping little children not get harassed.
DQ
So in
nuts.
theory, I'm a good person.
Then why are they
I just keep walking.
falling in front of the statue and to it? Does Zelda know you've done this?
What did you say, Finn?
Does Zelda know you've done this?
We've had so many conversations. Who knows?
So this is a secret cult.
No, the Gorons know about it. It's not a cult. Because if it was a cult, I'd get paid for this, and I don't get paid for it. So
Have any offerings been left by the statue?
I'm sorry. How many?
Have
No,
any
ha-
offerings been left by the statue?
I believe in the past there have been offerings. There currently are not any at the moment, but there have been in the past.
See any
So-
bloodstains?
there's no bloodstains,
Yeah, not since
scratch
first day.
marks. That's because I made them.
And as you say this, like the 2 Gorons, their heads dart up, and they look to you, and they start like scuttling on their knees over towards you. and then continue their phrasing directly to Leto.
Oh, the cult leader's actually here.
All praise the shape-shifting Moorbounder god.
So
Can
let's go
I
save.
I cast a minor illusion to just give him this dark shadow of where Leto's shadow is. I want to cast a minor illusion so that it seems like coming out of the back of his shadow is just a giant Moorbounder illusion. So that it looks like he's not Moorbounder himself, but his shadow is Moorbounder, so he's still part there, you know.
So my question with that
Oh
is,
gosh.
is the Moorbounder part of the shadow, or is the Moorbounder coming off of the shadow?
Coming off of the shadow.
Okay.
Does
This,
that make sense?
yes. This, I'm getting kind of like Ghostbuster vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So this only furthers their behavior, and they then begin to cautiously but persistently get closer to Leto. Meanwhile, with their heads down, and once they get to the edge of his feet, they just start emptying out their satchels of all of their belongings. Yeah. The sum of the contents results to 50 rupees, 6 fire flowers, and a healing potion. A red healing potion. Do you accept their offering, Leto?
Far be it beyond me to come between a leader and his followers. Gully walks away. Because you know he's got a little paladin in him, so he doesn't want to be party to this.
I'm trying to think exactly how I'm going to do this.
They start pleading, please accept
With-
our offering.
With the one time per long rest, gust of wind, I will have it blow from behind me, and in the most deep, regal voice, I would be like, "Your offerings are accepted, but use them in my grace for yourselves. That way, you may come back with better and become better in helping me.
And then,
I keep
Um,
them."
Hey, can I send you some coins to sell this real quick? I have an idea.
yeah,
Okay. I I want to get 2 fairy bottles and just put them at Leto's feet. And but rolling with the gust of wind straight to the 2 Gorons. So that it looks super magical and majestic.
okay.
Does that make sense?
As they're um
As if you
rushing to gather up their belongings and carry out Leto's wishes, seemingly these 2 fairy bottles start to roll out of within the gust of wind, and they each bottle lands in front of each of the respective Gorons, and then they begin to raise their heads, but catch themselves, and um, then push, lower their heads down again and continue on, and and say, um, carry on about how their god is is gracious and generous, and they will carry out his wishes. And they each grab a bottle along with their belongings, and they run off back down towards Goron Village.
Well, that went well.
I
You
nod and
just
give Lito a
commanded
thumbs
your cult to go get you better offerings. Okay.
up.
I actually said that. I was hoping they would, better themselves. Oops.
The evil cult leader.
With his
Fine.
evil sword.
I was going to do something nice and, make horses so that way we could ride down to the village faster. But since I'm evil, I guess we'll walk.
Shimkin looks at you, looks back at everyone else. Walk? And Deacon translates, "Hey, what am I? Chopped liver? You think I'm
You
just here
wanna
for
be?
soup?"
Poor
She
poor
clucked.
Chimkin. Chopped liver
Shakes her
Chimkin.
So.
So I guess we start walking.
Hi ho, Chimkin. Deacon hops on her back.
Time to hoof it.
Anyone who doesn't wish to walk is welcome aboard, of course.
So you're heading back down to Goron Village. Okay. So,
Can I take a short rest as this goes?
well, let's see.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I will have, as Deacon is the one aiming for a short rest, I will have him roll a d20, and I will have Lito roll a d20 as well.
15.
16.
I definitely know that those are not short rests.
Rip.
So, let me... I have to look at I haven't looked at my encounter page in such a long time. All right, let's see what that involves for travel encounters. Okay, so as you're traveling, Deacon, you notice buried in a small pile of rubble the ever so faint flicker of some red liquid. Would you like to investigate?
Sure.
Okay, roll me a d4.
Okay. Lost the page. One second.
As you approach, you start to hear from up above the mountain a rumbling that is getting rapidly louder.
Oh, I'm gonna cheese it then, to be honest.
Okay, so you do find 2 red healing potions, and as you dig them out of the rubble, the
Sorry. What I meant was, if it sounds like it's getting dangerous, I wasn't going to approach.
oh no, it's there would I'm simultaneously running the 2 rolls.
Gotcha. Sorry. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're able to find 2 red healing potions, and as you dig them out, you notice that the sky begins to darken above you, and you recognize the sound as an impending rock slide. And this rock slide scoops up the party and takes them all the way down to Hyrule Field. As that was Lito's 16.
Amazing. I thought so too. Nice.
So
God.
nobody
That's
suffers
amazing.
any damage, but yes, you are now at the entrance between Hyrule Field and Death Mountain. Yes, a rock slide just moves them; it does not cause damage. I I have many things, but I am not cruel. Right now. Right now.
Yeah, at this moment.
We saved that for the dungeons. Cruelty happens in the dungeons. I've
Yeah.
been there.
See, this was fate. Because now we can actually check to make sure that Pebbles was alive. Well,
That's a really good point.
Okay. So at this
or
point,
we can just walk by, and that's fine too.
between the the traveling to Death Mountain and the traveling on Death Mountain and being caught up in the rock slide, you are now approaching the later part of the day. I would say you have, let's say, 4 hours before we start to need making exhaustion checks. But 4 hours, as you would be familiar at this point, is the exact amount of time that you need to travel. Now, it's not to say there's not enough time for anything else. You know, if you want to look for pebbles, there's time for that. If you want to do a number of things, as long as they are not time-consuming things, there's time for it. So, in regards to pebbles, what would you like to do specifically?
Well, I guess I would like to see if she's around. Actually spoken to her in this campaign.
As the evil one, I think we should go visit her too. Because that would be terrible not to visit her.
Okay, so you do find pebbles,
I know
rather.
what you think of Pebbles. You're just gonna. Sorry, that's too much of a joke.
So you find Pebbles as she's wrapping up her goods for the day. As she sees you approaching, she does appear to be a little bit apprehensive, as I don't believe she's technically met any of you yet in this
Nope.
campaign.
She hasn't.
Not a bit.
So, as you approach and she calls out to you, and her voice appears to be a little shaky and uncertain. She's like, I'm sorry, travelers. I'm closing up shop for the day. I don't believe I can help you."
Oh, that's okay. How you holding up?
Fine, fine.
Um, I glance around at my party and I just go like, hey guys, did you have any business you wanted to take care of in Goron Village? Like anything you might want to do around there specifically?
Just closer to the temple.
Gotcha. Do you want to maybe take our rest outside the temple or something? Hypothetically, I could teleport us up the mountain if you want. Is what I'm saying.
Are you
Would be.
fiend?
Any thoughts?
Do we need a rest yet?
Here. I'll just offer Pebbles if she wants like an escort up the mountain.
She goes, "Thank you, but I really shouldn't be talking to strangers. Thank you,
Fair
though."
enough. Okay. Okay. So, alright, so, yeah. Did you guys want a teleport, or do you want to go through the encounters to see what we get? We might get a Lionel or something, which could be fun.
Whatever. I'm fine either way. If we want to take the scenic route, or if we want to go ahead and hop on up there, I'm cool either way.
Okay.
So just
You know
to
what?
reiterate,
Executive decision. Let's just hop on up there.
So it would take 4 hours of travel to get you to Goron Village. It would take you another 2 hours to get you up to um, the the
Oh yeah.
spring, and another 2 hours beyond that in traveling to get to the temple,
Okay.
to get to Dodongo
Um,
Yeah,
Cavern.
let's go ahead and cut
let's
some
do
of that
that.
time out and teleport. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
You're so
I,
helpful, Deacon.
thanks. Appreciate it, Goldie. I said, well, have a nice trip, and then I just like snap my fingers and teleport us directly into the Goron Village, and like I take out my Goron Village blanket. So like 1 second she's like looking at us and our giant chicken, and the second and like literally just gone out
You
of
just
nowhere.
blip out of there.
Yup.
Yep, that's not weird at all.
That's not going to have any repercussions. All right, so
Oh,
let's take you
they
to.
wanted me to walk with them up the mountain, and I said no. They just disappeared. Yeah, that's nothing. Nothing
I
fishy
didn't even
about that
think
at
about
all.
that. I didn't even think about that.
It's like
Wait,
the equivalent of pulling up in the creeper van.
Oh god, I didn't think about that. Fuck.
all right, so let's see. There we go.
In 100 years, we'll be thankful.
Right.
All right, so you pop into Goron Village. It saves you a good bit of time, so you still have a at any point would be a reasonable point for you to begin your rest, but you still have 4 hours before you start to make before you need to make exhaustion checks.
Do you guys want to head to the Dodongo's Cavern and take our rest in there, or do you want to rest in town? And do the encounters like
Let me see about something. And I look to see if the pillars are still there that were blocking the road.
Oh, refresh me on the pillars.
I put the bones of the earth across, basically to go towards the Dongo's cavern to train the soft Gorons that we're supposed to go over and punch it, and then prove that they could break it.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
And we left, and they didn't even do any damage to them.
Weaklings.
So at this point, I would say one of the pillars has been taken down. The other one appears to have a fair bit of damage to it, but is still standing. There are massive in the one that's standing. There are massive horizontal cracks, and as you examine the pillar even closer, you can see that the area in the pillar where there have been the main points of impact and stress put on them, there's also a fair amount of blood.
ooh.
Okay, well, we're making progress.
I feel like we should check if they need like a medics or anything like that.
The blood looks like it has been dried for quite some time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Huh. Oh, looks like progress. Good job,
Good
Lito.
improvement. Yeah, making some progress here. Good stuff.
Hmm. Okay.
We want to check on Romeo.
That's probably a good idea. Would be interested to see how he's holding up, and maybe explain to him what I just did without thinking. And maybe he could smooth things over.
Okay, so are you just going to like roam around searching for him, or is there an area that you want to investigate first?
I guess we could investigate his little stall, as he might just still be there for now.
Okay. You investigate Romeo's stall, and he is not present there, but there is one Goron, who appears to be working in the shop, and his hands appear to be heavily bandaged.
Oh. Hi, how's it going?
Just good, I guess. How about you?
Doing okay. Looking for Romeo. You seen him?
Um, yeah. I think he's over at the chief's tent. Um, I mean, the
Oh, word.
most likely where he is.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
Oh, wait.
Uh,
If you see him, just tell him I'm doing a good job, okay?
will do.
Okay.
What you been doing, if you don't mind me asking?
Uh, uh work in the shop.
Oh,
Making
nice.
sure that everything is good and clean, and just I mean, you don't have to get too specific. Just tell him I'm doing a good job at the shop.
Okay, Chief. What's
Uh,
your name?
my name is my my my,
Also,
my name is
I
Screwball.
hell yeah. I want to politely insight check him just to like see if he's actually doing a good job.
All right, give me an insight check.
13.
13. The shop looks nice. Everything looks clean. Um,
Okay.
I would say you don't notice a fair amount of inventory turnover, but it looks well kept.
I pat him on the back and give him cure wounds. And
And
say, we hope your hands feel better.
he goes, thanks. It's part of my training.
They have you punching those rocks or something?
Yeah, but I've been working on beating on that pillar out there for quite some time.
Nice.
Yeah, one day I'll be able to get it down. I'm hoping. I made some pretty good, pretty big cracks in it, and I think it's about ready to cave any day.
Very
It's not ready
nice.
to cave any day, by the way.
Wishing you the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said,
Practice makes perfect.
Yes, that's what I'm told, and I will work hard until I'm perfect.
Joke. Yeah. Well, thanks, Screwball. Catch you later.
Bye.
uh,
So so you start to make your way to the chief's tent.
Mhm.
Okay. So you come across as you approach the chief's tent, you come across two more Gorons. Um, they, in comparison to the last time you've gone to Goron Village, they look um, much more trained, much more attentive. They're standing at attention. One of them has a massive head wrap on,
Cool.
and the other one just looks normal. They both have spears, and as you approach, they very firmly stop you, and they go, "Halt! Um, what
I
business do you
help.
have?"
Looking to see friend Romeo? Named Deacon? That Lido? I point at Lido.
And they both kind of grunt, and the one with the head wound kind of turns to the other one and like gestures for him to run ahead. And he turns and he heads over to the tent. And about, I would say, a brief moment passes by before he comes back, and he whispers something to
Oh,
the Goron with the head wound on.
I'd like to look at the guy with the you said head wound or headband?
Well, he has like his head is bandaged, and
Okay.
you can see that there's not a lot, but a little bit of uh, fresh blood kind of coming through a portion of the wound.
I gotcha. I'm gonna cast Healing Word at 2nd level on him.
Okay.
I should have rolled for the healing or I gave the other guy. So this one's for Strubal, because I forgot to roll that. He got 11, and Healing Word for this Goron, he gets 12.
Gotcha. All right. So
Say it, hope you feel better.
and when the moment you cast it, he just kind of like rubs his head a bit, noticing that it like the pain and the headache has gone away, and but his demeanor does not soften. But
That's fair.
he nods and thanks you with professional appreciation.
Finger guns.
And after the other Goron finishes whispering something to his ear, the other guard takes his position back at the post, and the guard that originally had the head wound says, "You may proceed. You are expected."
Ooh, nice. Hey, looks like you got him into shape, Ludo. Good job.
We'll see.
True.
All right. So as you start to approach the tent, you can hear some conversation going on between two people that have very firm voices. What would you like to do?
Eavesdrop, of course.
Okay.
It's in my nature. I would just walk in.
So which one is happening first? I can have you
Deacon
make a dex
goes to
check if you want.
eavesdrop, and Leto walks right on in.
I'm literally like as Leto opens the tent, they see me just like also in front of the tent. So then I have to just like walk in next to Leto and pretend that I was going to do that the whole time. Like I like I'm like just reaching up to like my ear to like cup it and listen in, and then I have to like play it off like I'm waving at them when I go to enter.
Okay. All right. So Deacon, give me a deception check on the matter.
Okay. All right. I knew I should have cast glibness before I went in here. Okay, deception. 17.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that that's all right. So as Leto just kind of like barges in, and everyone follows suit.
We're back.
Ohio.
All right. So the moment you walk into the tent, what you see is you see Chief Link and Romeo engaged in what appears to be very intense conversation, and Juliet is there, but the impression that you get is that she is very detached from what Chief Link and Romeo are discussing. She's kind of like sitting there and twiddling things and ruffling pillows and just overall seems incredibly disinterested in what's going on. And the moment you come through, they do immediately cease their conversation and turn to your party. Go, oh, welcome back. What brings you to Goron Village at this hour of the night?
Oh, same thing that brought us there last time. Looking for the fire temple. Very foolhardy. You know us.
Oh, as Chief Link says, he goes, "Oh, I honestly kind of half expected that to be behind you at this point."
Well, a long story. Maybe me tell you about it another day. But for now, I wanted to check up on you guys. He looks at Romeo, and so Deacon kind of grins, and he's like, like behind his back, he like crosses his fingers and he's like, "Okay, I hope I got it like this with him." And he's like, "I wanted to make sure Romeo doing a nice, big, a good job. You see."
And Chief Lakes has a slight chuckle as he says, "Yes, I don't think I could have asked for somebody more dedicated to me and more capable than this young Goron here. He has made a very firm impression on the guards." And Romeo kind of like chuckles, says, "Yeah," with his face. And then he very quickly recomposes himself.
God. I I kind of laugh. And I'm like, hope you're not abusing your power either now.
No, I am, as Romeo states, I'm doing what needs to be done to toughen up these soft balls of clay.
Uh,
And you do detect a hint of a harshness in his voice that is uh, not something that would be typically uh, commonly found to be a behavior of Romeo.
and I check in with him and I go, well, if you're doing okay, maybe you want to meet up and hang out again sometime. Maybe once we get back from Dodongo's cavern, we could have another day of it or something.
Yes. You know what? Maybe uh, when you come back, I can show you around. I can show you how I've turned this place around, and
That
how
sounds perfect.
yes, and how I can expect and anticipate that Goron Village will uh, return to a glory not seen for a long time.
I give him a thumbs up. I go, that sounds great.
Quite proud of you, Romeo. You've come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I've had proper inspiration and good teachers, and you know, and people that have shown me the light.
Good, good. And how are things with you and the princess?
And he stops. Yes. Princess is lovely, and if I continue on this path that benefits my people in the way that I expect it to, I expect that I will make her a very fine queen one day. And you hear
Good, good, good.
you hear a slight snicker coming from Juliet. She doesn't look up. She's not. She doesn't engage in the conversation at all. But she did feel the need to just interject that snide little snicker at his reply.
Is it a snicker of that's not going to happen, or we'll wait and see?
Yeah, I'm also very curious as to whether that's like in your dreams or like it's just, like
Okay,
I didn't sign up for no arranged marriages situations. Like, come on.
so I'm going to give you a choice. You can either do one roll at advantage with no bonuses, no inspiration, no guidance,
Okay.
or one of you can take the insight check and give the other the necessary bonuses.
I'd be happy to give him the inspiration if you want, or I could give you advantage. Your pick, Lito. I'll give you either one you want.
How about advantage?
All right.
Okay, no, that works.
I have a +9, and hopefully it's going to be good enough.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good.
Good luck.
Get off that.
You got this.
Hell yeah. Beautiful.
Ooh. Very nice. Okay. So the snickering, you get the impression what it results in is that they have currently a relationship.
Oh, nice. Good for them.
But
Keeping it on the DL.
but Romeo is currently so consumed with his newfound responsibilities that at least at this point in time he is not giving the necessary attention to keep Juliet happy. He's putting way too much focus on making Chief Link happy.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Right.
usually how it goes.
We have plans for tomorrow, or at least Deacon does.
Okay. So, so after the snickering, which neither Chief Link nor Romeo seem to notice, Chief Link continues on. He says, "So will you be staying here for the night before venturing on, or would is there anything we can help with?"
I glanced at my party and I forgot what your answer was. If you wanted to sleep here outside Dodongo's.
It's fine, because I don't think we have enough time to make it.
Oh, true. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I'd be fine with sleeping here. In town at least.
You would technically have. So in the time frame that we have now is it would take you 4 hours to get to Dodongo's cavern, and you have 3 hours before you need to make an exhaustion check.
Gotcha. Sorry, my sense of time is a little wonky sometimes. Yeah, we should probably get
And I can get us there faster.
them. Ooh, true.
You could. That teleport would shave 2 hours off your travel.
I'll have another teleport. I would actually create horses for us to ride.
Oh, and there's also no trees in Goron Village.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yet.
Yet.
Okay. So you have some options on the table.
Okay.
Which one would you like to do?
I'd say we should stay here and just kind of resync our power for the night. For face tomorrow at full fledged.
That's a great idea, Deacon. I can get in some reading that way.
Ooh, true.
While that's happening, I'm going to walk over to Juliet, kneel down because I'm much taller than her, pull out one of the fire flowers that I have and be like, "Lady Juliet, it's always a pleasure to see you," and offer it to her.
And as you approach, she is almost willfully distracting herself until you present the flower, and first comes, a subtle side eye, and then her whole head kind of turns to you, and as she reaches out to take the fire flower which you're offering, she smiles at you, and as she pulls the fire flower from you, maybe, just maybe, her pinky intentionally grazes your hand as she pulls away the flower. and she thanks you for the kind gesture.
It's not a problem. It's always a kind gesture to make sure that you treat a lady like a lady.
Well, it's nice to see that some people know how to treat a lady.
It kind of comes from experience too.
And she
I sorry.
takes the fire flower and she tucks it in her. She has a tiara. Yeah.
Mhm.
She kind of like tucks it in the tiara, kind of like towards the side of her head where most people have ears.
Mhm.
Gully kind of looks over at Efine and says, "Well, I guess an evil person wouldn't really be doing something like that. That's a really nice gesture.
And then,
You should still keep an eye on him, though."
and then, Ludo will go, it doesn't matter if it's something that you're born with or something that you have to learn. You just have to be looking out for the right moments. And I reach out and I boop her nose.
Is there anything behind the boop? Is there any like spell?
Just I put it on her nose, like do a little circle, and then pull it back and wink at her. I'm hoping for a movement from someone. I really am.
So
Um,
so um so as you do this boop, where is your attention targeted?
It's mostly at her, so that way it doesn't look like I'm trying to provoke. It's just I am wholeheartedly making it so it's all about her at this moment.
Okay. So she with every additional gesture, she very quickly seems to be softening up. She is she appears to be appreciating this rare attention that she's getting. Um, would you like to incite anybody else at disadvantage?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So full attention focused on her.
hmm
Okay.
Once I'm done, I will then pull my hand back and be like, Lady Juliet, I will see you again. And then turn around and start walking out of the tent.
All right. Um, at the point that Lita was walking out of the tent, what is everyone else doing, facing, observing? Let's
um,
let's start with Deacon.
so Deacon kind of has his hand over his mouth, to kind of like, uh, so not exactly to hide a smirk, but like that's what it's doing, you know.
Mhm.
And he's kind of like looking between Romeo and Juliet, and um, you see he like as Leto turns to leave, he glances at Juliet and says, and he kind of like snickers and goes, "Now, if he's not living proof that chivalry's not dead."
Okay. How about you, Afid?
Ifine was turning back to Gully to reply to him.
To reply to Gully?
hmm
Reply to and what's the reply?
I. Oh shit, my brain's just gone blank.
It's okay.
All good.
Happens all the
Wait.
time to me.
Wait, you don't actually think he's evil, do you? I was just pulling his tail.
Well, I don't know. I'm I'm trying to, keep a benefit of a doubt here.
Um,
Okay.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't know.
um, I'm gonna try a really risky play, if you don't mind me interjecting. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look back to Romeo, and I am going to try and salvage this for him because Romeo's not looking good right now. It's so, and I have an idea as to how he can start looking better.
Okay.
And
All right.
I
So,
say,
wait. Before this, so I'm going to narrate what has happened up
okay,
until this
sorry.
point. So, as Deacon is the only one who was expressly paying attention to Romeo and Juliet, what you see is you see that Romeo has his back to her, and he didn't see anything that went on with Leto. But as Leto exited the tent, he saw that Juliet watched him leave as she played with the fire flower that was in her tiara. Okay. Now what does Deacon do?
Okay, I say, oh man, this is Deacon kind of like grins at him, like it pretense, of hiding that sort of thing drops, and he goes, hey, hey, um, I say, you know, um, how about and so sorry, I just need a second to think of exactly how Deacon will put this.
Mhm.
So he walks up to Romeo and kind of pats like his hand because he's Romeo would probably be much taller than him at this point. And he's like, hey now, well, um, maybe just maybe, I'm not the only one you should be showing around the town. Um, it's very important for any princess to get to know the people she's going to be helping rule over one day. Um, I and I squeeze his hand as if to like say that I'm trying to make a point. And he says, "Behind every good ruler is a good first lady. So maybe you should take her along with us when we get out of the fire temple." And I want to see if hopefully he gets it.
He says, well, I suppose. I mean, I guess it would be good for Juliet to see me in action. You have good ideas, Deacon. I like that.
I give him I give him the finger guns and no, I'm not. Yeah, I just give him the finger guns, and then and then I wave to Juliet and Chief Link as I exit the tent.
So, so now Leto has exited the tent, and Deacon has exited the tent. Do Afine at this point? Do Afine and Gully follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the three of you leave the tent, you hear Romeo call out to Juliet, and he goes, "Hear that, babe? I'm gonna take you out in the town when they get back." And you hear Juliet just let out a very unenthused, Whoop-de-doo.
I think you may need to give him another crash course, Scully.
Mm.
Yeah. He's a little too focused on pleasing her dad and not her, it seems.
Wrong flex.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely need to have a chat with him when we get back.
Yes.
All right. So I would say we're still looking at let's say we're still looking at 3 hours. And are you? Yeah. So we have the hostel area.
Hmm.
I would imagine Gully is dead set on that area,
Oh.
so he can so he can get situated reading.
Yeah. He's gonna stretch out and
All
start
right.
reading.
So as of right now, we'll dedicate at least 3 hours to Gully's reading for the night. If we want to extend that, we will revisit that in a moment. But right now, we're saying at least
Alrighty.
3 hours. What's up, Deacon?
Before I fully leave the tent's area, like outside the tent, I
Uh-huh.
use message and I say, "Oh, by the way, Screwball is doing a great job. Helped us find you and showed lots of promise."
He messages back. He's not that bright, but he's got potential. Thank you.
I really try really hard not to say I could say the same for you. Thankfully, I don't have another message.
Wonderful. Okay. So with the remaining 3 hours, what, if anything, are Afine, Deacon, and Leto interested in doing?
Let you guys go first since I have something I'm going to do.
Huh. I man. I got nothing, honestly, unfortunately. The only thing that I can think of is that I'm going to think of how I can, while it was hysterical at the time, I'm going to think of how I can handle the repercussions of what I did with the teleport tree. So I'm just going to think about that for a bit.
All right. Sounds good. What about Afine?
I would actually like to try and catch up to Lido and speak with him.
Okay. So you kind of rush ahead of the group, and you catch up to Leto. And what would you like to say?
Hey, Lido, I'm sorry, but could I have a word quickly?
Sure. I'm just gonna walk over, towards Romeo's hut, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to apologise for earlier, all the talk about you being evil and the cult. I purely intended it as a joke. I'm sorry if it wasn't seen that way at the time, and that's completely my fault.
Are you sure I'm not evil, though? Look at what I just did in the tent.
Yes, but I also think it might be the kick in the ass that Romeo might need.
Oh, no, that's gonna come in a couple of minutes. How do you think we're over here? I'm just waiting for him. Don't tell anybody, okay? Because I have a plan.
Not a word. Besides,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you're not evil. The sword didn't make me evil.
Well, I think it's fair, and I will pull out another fire flower and hand it to you two.
Thank you, but it's alright.
No. Ladies deserve something pretty every once in a while. And since I don't think you have anybody. Unless I'm wrong, there's different time frames and everything. Somebody should give you something every once in a while.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, even though you don't have to.
Well,
Even back in my old timeline, counting that, you're still the only guy who's ever given me flowers.
we gotta fix that. I don't know many guys though, except for Gully, but Deku. If you're into Deku, he's kind of young though.
I'll be honest,
Just
Deacon
think
isn't
about it.
really my type. A little bit short.
Ah,
Although he is incredibly sweet and kind, and an incredible friend.
I'll be on the lookout for you.
Thank you.
What about?
Have fun.
I'm going to.
The floor just disappeared.
So I'm gonna wait right there.
Okay. So you're waiting at Romeo's shop.
Well, I'm waiting basically by this wall.
Okay.
Since it's probably not that tall, at least not 8 feet tall, probably. I'm waiting for him to walk out of the tent and close it.
Okay. So you're spying. All right.
Sure.
Give me a stealth check.
I will guidance myself because I suck at it. Yeah, that's a 13. I'm not being very stealthy. I'm a giant 8-foot tall red guy. I need
Yeah.
stealth.
Okay. So, you know what? Okay. So, okay, before I address this, okay. I'm going to take it to the 3-hour mark. So we have Gully reading, and by the end of the 3 hours, where are Deacon and Afine? Have you settled in, or are you doing something else and attempting to stretch the night?
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off or anything. I was just unmuting the headset.
No, it's fine. Would you like to go first?
Oh, sure. To be honest, I was probably going to wind down at this point. I don't know of anything left for Deacon to actively do, so I figured he'd probably hit up the hostel, see if
Okay.
anything's going on there.
All right. So within 3 hours, you are ready for the long rest. All right. And what about Afine?
I'm also going to head back and settle in for the long rest.
Okay. Very nice. And okay, so by the 3 hours, Romeo has not left the tent. Um,
Hmm.
so at this point, would you like to continue to observe the tent and make con saves, or would you like to turn in?
I was hoping to do this. I'll make a con save to see if he comes out in an hour.
All right. 1 hour, DC 10.
Oh no. Of course not.
Okay, so within the hour, you do suffer a single point of exhaustion.
Okay.
He still has not come out of the tent.
Okay, I'll go to bed.
Okay. All right. So that long rest will wash away that one point. Now, Gully, we have done 3 hours of reading, and that puts us at the area where we can make con saves. What would you like to do?
Tomorrow could potentially be a big day. Oh, screw it. We're gonna gamble. Whatever.
All right. So
All right.
let's take it hour by hour.
Okay.
All right. So first one, DC 10.
All right. DC 10.
All right. No problem. You're up to 4 hours.
Okay.
You want to take another hour?
Yeah.
All right. DC 11.
Come on. Roll it.
Nice. So you got 5 hours. DC 12.
5 hours. 5 hours. Yeah. DC 12. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. You have reached 6 hours of reading. DC 13.
Yeah. We'll push it one more.
All right. Okay. So that is an additional 5 hours on top of the 3, giving you 8 hours of reading.
Oh, we're at 33 hours. Okay.
Very nice. Okay. So, as you eventually all turn in for the night, the majority of you have a restful sleep. Nothing particular happens. No, Gully, you don't really have any strange dreams, pleasant or otherwise. Same for Deacon, and same for Afine. Leto, you are awoken by the crack of lightning. As your eyes open, the sky is dark, and the crackling lightning is crackling red. As you look to your party, they all appear to be in a very deep sleep and undisturbed by the storm. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go investigate.
Okay. So as you get up and exit the tent, you see something off in the not so distant horizon. The entire landscape of Goron Village has changed to this vast, expansive, level plain. As you look behind you, there's nothing behind you but the tent that you came out of. And off in the distance, as the lightning cracks, you see a figure. And the figure notices you. The figure also appears to be atop some type of pile or hill or mound. Would you like to approach?
Mhm.
Okay. As you approach the figure atop the mound, the first thing you notice is glowing red eyes. A very strong, sturdy frame. As the lightning continues to crackle, you notice long, red hair. The voice calls out to you with irritation in its voice, and it states that you should not try and seek me out, because I will find you all soon enough.
How far away am I?
I would say to get this type of recognition, you are less than 100 feet.
I will respond with, "That's great. But you know," and I point up to the sky, "I can do that too, and I will call lightning on it
It has
if I
no
can."
it has no effect. But you can see that the person talking to you is Ganondorf. And the mound that he sits atop of is not a mound, but a collection of broken and crumbling thrones. One throne in particular has been completely decimated. Most of the thrones are completely vacant. But one of the thrones sits Kyburn. And as you freeze in the moment before you or them can take any action, you awaken to the following day. And with this, I would say that you are the first one awake. You look to your fellow party. You're not quite sure what time Gully fell asleep, but they all look well rested and they all look undisturbed, seemingly unaffected by what you've witnessed during your rest. What do you do as the first person awake?
I can go check on the town, see if it's still okay.
The town is exactly as you remember it. As far as you can tell, it is completely unchanged and unaffected by what you witnessed.
From where I am, can I kind of idea-wise know where the pile was and kind of walk towards where that was?
When you left the tent, which direction did you walk?
Probably toward the center of town.
Okay. So you would know that that would be the continuing. You walk in the same direction. And you find nothing strange. In fact, I would say at this point, probably, you know what? Give me. This isn't going to have any negative repercussions, but give me a con save.
7.
7. Okay. So as you start to walk through town, you start to notice that although nothing in Goron Village seems out of place, and the Gorons themselves don't seem to have been affected by what you have witnessed, you start to notice that they are looking at you because you have been visibly affected, like just shook by the dream. At one point, one of the Gorons come up to you and asks if you're okay. Says that, you know, as far as they can tell, you look a little pale.
No, I'm fine. I, there's nothing to worry about. Didn't see anything in my dreams that totally scared the crap out of me. No, I'm fine. You
Well,
seen Romeo by chance?
yeah, it's where he always is, in the chief's tent. But, yeah, that was clearly not a weird response at all, so I'm gonna go this way.
Have a great morning.
And as he turns, he kind of like raises his hand in like a hailing kind of way, and he goes, "Oh, hey, there you are!" And he like walks off in a direction. Do you look in that direction?
No, because I'm pretty sure I know there's nobody there.
Okay. So, um, so do you make your way to the chief's hut again?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way there.
Okay. As you approach, the guards don't stop you, but they, as protocol, insist on escorting you, simply based on nothing more than the hour of the day. And as you approach the tent, you can hear 3 very loud snoring Gorons coming from the tent. And yes, it does kind of shake the flaps a bit, as it has in the past.
I will look at the 2 Gorons and be like, "On your way, soldiers."
And one
And I
looks
will
to the
slowly
other. It's like,
open the tent.
do you intend to disturb the chief's royal slumber?
No, not his.
They're like, we think we'll stay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you push back the flap, and you can see that Chief Link is off sleeping in his own particular area of the tent. And Romeo and Juliet are sleeping in close proximity to each other, where Juliet is kind of on her side with one arm kind of not draped over Romeo, because I want to say there's a fair bit of physical distance between them, even though they're sleeping in close proximity to each other. But her hand is kind of placed on his shoulder, and Romeo is sleeping on his back with his head tilted back, mouth open, snoring.
Okay. So I'll walk in quietly towards Romeo and Juliet.
Stealth check.
I'm always so terrific at these. I will try and guide myself as best as I can. Oh yeah, 9.
Okay, so as you approach Romeo and Juliet, your foot catches on one of her discarded pieces of jewelry, and you face plant atop Romeo. He doesn't seem to awaken, but Juliet does. And as her eyes start to flutter open, she sees you. And then her eyes get wide, as if she thinks that you're there for her.
Morning.
And she very
Um,
forcefully but quietly whispers, "What are you doing here?"
I have to have words with him.
She's mildly confused by that answer.
Trust me. It's for his own good.
And she kind of,
And
believing you, that you are not there for her. She has this ever so slight look of rejection on her face, as if to look at you, believing that you're just another one of those type of people. And she rolls over with her back to the entire hut and goes silent. So, before we continue this,
Mhm.
everyone else at this point starts to waken. All right, so we have Gully last to awaken, but as Athena and Deacon awaken, you notice that Leto is not present amongst you. What are your thoughts?
I if a fiend's up, I kind of like greet her like a good morning.
Morning.
Do you know where Leto went?
I don't know. I haven't seen him since last night.
Gotcha. Any indication he might be looking for something?
Last I saw him, he was going to speak to Romeo.
Ah. Deacon kind of snickers. Yeah, he very much believes that his sleep schedule is everybody else's sleep schedule. So, well, you want to go chase after him? Probably the first place we should look after all.
One moment. I'm going to check if any of the other beds in here have been slept in.
Oh, okie doke. Here. I give her an inspiration. If you want
Okay.
to make any checks,
Give
I'll
me
try to help you as best I can.
an investigation check to see the condition of the hostel. All right, and I heard an inspiration, Deacon.
Yep.
All right.
Are you sure you want me to use it on the 3?
I don't. I was gonna try to assist you, but I don't have a better way of giving you help with that. So feel free.
Well, thank you.
It's a D12, right?
Yep, it's a D12. Sorry.
Okay. So, with a total of 6, you are able to find that a good portion of the area has been slept in. You're able to tell that Leto did at some point spend the night, but it's difficult to tell when he woke up and left. You see a couple other Gorons sleeping in the area. You're not sure if they were there before you got there and you didn't notice, or if they came after you had settled in. But and if you know what, I will say through your investigation, um, you kind of end up disturbing Gully and waking him up.
Yep.
So
Sorry.
Oh, what was that?
I'm
Oh,
sorry
good
to
morning.
hit you.
Oh, jeez. Whew.
Up late?
Oh, all right. Yeah. Breakfast time. Oh, wait. We're in Goron Village. Boo.
No food here, sadly.
You see Gully almost slump over, and then he goes to grab his bag, and he starts pulling out rations.
Yup. Oh, sad. Oh.
okay, so as the rest of the party begins to situate themselves and get themselves ready for everything that they planned on for the day, we circle back to Lido at the tent with Chief Link still asleep, um, Juliet in an unknown state, and Romeo still sleeping as well.
So I'll get off of Romeo.
Mhm.
I will go. I guess this might cause a lot of problems, but I then proceed to polymorph Juliet into a snail. It's a DC 18.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I have a plan. It's not a great plan, but I have a plan.
Yep. Nope. She's a snail.
She's a snail. So I will pick up the snail, put it in the bag of holding, and then I will. How sealed is the flap along the side? Is it something that you can just barely pull up, or
For the bag of holding or for the tent?
no, for the tent?
Um, it's got a heavier weight to it than most of the other tents. It's simply just made of a thicker material, but it's not difficult to manipulate in most ways.
Can I lift it up? Well, lay on my side, lift it up, push it up, roll out underneath, and if I make it that far, I have what I'm going to do next.
Okay. Yeah. Not a problem.
So I do that and immediately turn into a hawk.
Now keep in mind, the
Mhm.
moment that you get out of the tent, you're going to be in plain sight of the two guards.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So
So they don't see what happens to Juliet, but they see you come out, they see you turn into a hawk.
and I proceed to fly over to the hostel.
Okay.
And I will fly inside
Mhm.
and just kind of, look around, see if everybody's awake.
Yep, at this point they would be.
I will turn back into me, go, good morning.
Sorry, I was muted. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
And then I will reach into the bag of holding and pull out the snail and be like, so we have a guest.
Okay.
Probably gonna be
Snail. Okay.
they're probably gonna be pissed at me very shortly, but I wanted to prove something. So I put the snail down and I pop it off and she comes back.
Dude,
Okay.
what? Why did you turn into a snail? Are you okay,
Uh,
princess?
so as she pops out of the bag and returns to her form, the first thing she does is start gasping for breath. And she finds herself in the hostel, surrounded by you guys. And
I look down at her and go, I never said I wasn't going to take you. I just needed to make him aware.
she looks at you with daggers in her eyes, fuming. Her blood is boiling like lava. And she says, "Why do I always seem to pick the assholes?"
Don't worry, I think it's something weirdly inherent about ourselves. I get what you mean, though.
First of all, that's not very nice. Second of all, I'm trying to make it so that way the person who's actually meant to be with you actually realizes that he still wants you and isn't all about a position.
She goes,
Deacon. Oh, sorry.
no, I would.
I was gonna say, Deacon chimes in. When first met Romeo, only thing that he could think of was you, and now that different, and that a shame, because someone like you deserves to have every thought given to them. Can tell that you're very nice, and if he's not thinking of you, then he's missing out. So we need to fix that for everyone's sake, including his. So as just if I'm going to be friends with him, he has to know he has to know how he's treating you, and he has to know that he needs to treat you better. Simple as.
She goes, and this is the best idea you could come up with?
I didn't have any part in this idea.
Well, I had better, but it kind of seemed like you were upset, so I thought work with you more than him.
She goes,
Okay.
so let me get this straight. You come into my father's tent.
Like normal.
You you woo me with flowers and physical touch, and then and kind words, and then you kidnap me for my own good, as you state, because you think that my boyfriend, who up until this morning I thought was the biggest jerk on the planet, was going to somehow change because I got kidnapped.
Um, if I can tell you anything in I'm sorry that we interrupted your sleep, and I'm sorry we interrupted your day. Did not know that was going to happen, but it is what happened. But you see, it kind of like let's see. If we don't scare him with something, like you say he's a jerk, but like what me used to know of him, he had a big heart, and for as long as we knew him, that heart belonged to you. And now I don't know what happened to it, but if he, I feel like this is a test of whether or not he deserves you. Like I think you know that you deserve better than to just be cooped up in a tent doing nothing while other people talk. That's not a fate that anyone should be stuck by. And if he's going to talk about making you his queen and all that stuff, well, he has no chance of making you happy. And what we want to do is find a way to make him change so that he can make you happier. And, you know, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, but if I can tell you one thing, it's it's fear of loss that'll do that a lot better. I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna be so, Lady Juliet. If you'd like to stay here, you're more than welcome to scare him, or you can go walking back and scare him even worse. Like
I'm
I'm
listening.
actually gonna go walk back myself.
Wait. What do you mean by scare him worse?
The fact that he couldn't protect you, he literally let a person fall on him. He did not wake up and literally took you away under his nose.
He failed by every count that a man should be holding to, at least a man like him. As if he was anything like what he claimed, if he was anything like what he's been trying to get the other Gorons to be, that never should have happened. I know you know that to be true.
And if you would like, we can give you something to prove that you weren't there, and I can literally put you right back. Not that big of a deal. Just to prove that you could be taken and literally put back under his nose.
I don't agree with your methods. And this
Most people
is
don't.
certainly not how I wanted to begin today, or any day for that matter.
I was going to do it last night, but he never came out, which is kind of weird.
Well, he is, regardless of how much of a jerk he is kind of my betrothed.
Wait, already?
Yeah,
How long have you two been seeing each other?
In theory, a
N-
couple of days.
not very long, but in the short span of time, he has made a very big impact on Father. And as he puts it, this is the only, or he is the only viable suitor who is proven to be worth anything in this village. And
Hmm.
if we are to return to our former glory, then we must look beyond simply fixing the behaviors of the Gorons in the village and look to the potential of the next generation.
I understand that it's very important to be strong, but at the same time, there's no point in using strength for anything other than protecting people's happiness. If you're not happy with the life that you're going to have, it's not strength that's protecting it. It's not strength that's keeping the outside out. It's strength that's being used to keep you in. Is that really what you want?
Not necessarily, but there are different types of strength, and one of those types of strength is the ability to look beyond one's own personal wants and desires and see the big picture and do what is right for the collective above the right or above what is desired by the individual.
Deacon kind of he looks like a little bit disappointed. Not like necessarily at her, but just like in general. And he says, you know, I think something you should remind yourself of is it's not a point of sacrifice that you should have to make. Like the needs of the Gorons is a very fluid thing. As evidenced by in just this short time, Romeo seems to have changed the nature of things a lot, but it seems that it's also changed his nature. And what that means is it can change back. What that means is there's still potential for him to be someone who can make you happy if he made you happy before. This isn't something that has to be a losing game, and this isn't something that has to be a sacrifice. If he doesn't make you happy anymore, then and you want to give in, then that's one thing. But if you cared for him ever, this is your chance to give him a shot to be someone who makes you happy. If that's something you want. And, sure, I understand that being leader of village, you see, is very tough thing. Very, very, future for queen and all. I understand that, they want strong rulers, but I gesture between my entire party and say, well, this is not romantic. It has proven to me one thing beyond any shadow of doubt, which is the strongest bonds, the strongest thing about anything that you can do is the bonds you make with each other and the people around you. That is what strength it keeps a kingdom together. That is what strength keeps us together. And that is what makes us the fearsome team that we are, able to do the things that we do. Things like he gestures in like the vague direction of Dodongo's Cavern. Things like help out in Dodongo's Cavern. It's a big matter of not strength should not be used to contain. Strength should be used to protect. And Romeo needs to remember that. But I think maybe
And Deacon, one of the main things you're leaving out here is communication.
very true. Very true.
That is the main solution to making a relationship last. You have to communicate with each other. Can't just sit on it if you're upset. You can't just, hold your tongue if there's something that you're not liking. You have to communicate. So I'll let you continue. Sorry.
Oh, no, thank you. I gesture to Gully and go, he raises the perfect point. You see, that's why I wanted to drag you along when I was going to go hang out with Romeo tomorrow when we finished up in the temple. because he shrugs. I wanted to make you two talk to each other again. Doesn't look like he's talking to you at all, and that's a problem. He's not communicating. But maybe if you can talk to him openly and explain what your problem is, maybe that's the real strength that you should be displaying. Not the strength that hides things and keep things bundled up, but the strength that reaches out and bridges gaps between everyone, between you and Romeo, between you and the rest of the village. It'll only make you guys stronger as a whole. And Deacon steps off the soapbox that he has stepped on.
Says, you know what? I think I understand. But I'm not sure that I can convey to my father what needs to be said by myself. And since the words of you four have moved me so thoroughly, would you do me the favor of coming with me to express my feelings to my father?
Of course, I would be happy.
Okay.
Do you not want to express your feelings to Romeo?
Well, it's clearly, as much as I love my father, it is him who has created the life that I live. It is him who has betrothed me to Romeo. It is him who has kept me cooped up in that hut, and if I am to lead the Gorons in the future, I must, one, learn how to express my needs, wants, desires, and goals. And two, I must learn how to trust people and surround myself with people that should be trusted. And she does give you a little side-eye, Leto. She's not completely happy about that kidnapping thing still.
Oh. So, need to decide real quick because I'm pretty sure something bad's gonna happen very quickly. I can put you back. Nobody will probably realize that you were gone. Or we can walk you to the main gate and prove the fact that nobody's paying attention.
I will not skulk.
Okay.
We will walk.
One last thing, guys. No matter what happens, I'm taking the blame for this 100%. This is on me for being whatever I am. Like, whatever happens, happens. Princess, after you.
Right.
Deacon snickers and says, "Don't worry, I'll bail you out of jail, fearless leader."
I look
Anything
back and go,
else?
do you think I actually need to get bailed out? I literally was able to take the princess away without anybody paying attention.
True enough. True enough.
Okay.
Let me set it up here.
Anything else from anybody before we proceed?
I will do
Nope.
one last thing.
Yes.
I have a cloak that I was wearing when all of this happened a while back after the 1 year thing and whatnot like that. So it's big enough definitely for me and my size.
Mhm.
So I'd like to actually offer it to the princess to put it over herself, so that way not everybody's like, oh my god. So that way she can literally walk up and pull the hood back and be like, I'm out here.
And as you offer the cloak, she holds up her hand and she says, "No, we will do this the right way."
Eh.
So she starts her own
Do you
little
want a
mini.
sword?
He says no. So
Okay.
as she starts her own little mini procession with with the four of you in tow. Actually, quick question: does anybody stay behind?
Nah, I'll come with.
Nah.
Nope.
Okay, so with the four of you in tow, she is for the first time you have seen her walking proudly, walking upright, taking forceful, intentional steps as she approaches Chief Link's hut. First, she walks past where the guards. First, you all walk past where the guards are normally stationed. They are not there as they are at the entrance to the hut still. And as she continues to approach, the two guards see her with this confused look on their face. She goes up to one of the guards. She forcefully takes one of their spears, breaks off the sharp tip, throws it to the side, throws back the flap of the hut, takes what is now just nothing more than a stick, and smacks her father with it as she yells, "Father, get up! I have something to say." And he startles awake and looks at her with nothing but wide-eyed confusion. And she says, "I may be a princess, and I may someday be queen of this village, but I am not a damsel in distress, and I have seen the light of my own destiny and situation. And that is why I will be going to Dodongo Cavern. And I will make my way through the Fire Temple with my friends."
Wave.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh man, this is spicy.
Wow. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So we toughened up one. Now we got to toughen up another.
Hell yeah.
So you have inspired her. You have awoken a sleeping docile princess who is ready to kick ass and take names.
Nice. Bro, fight the power.
So you now officially have your very first traveling NPC of the campaign.
Hell yeah.
And out of all the NPCs in Goron Village, who would have thought it would have been Juliet?
Kind of me.
Well,
This is going to be quite interesting.
yes.
Yes.
So we will see how if she has anything to back up her her intended words. And so we have the key. We have no need for anyone to open the gateway to get into the Fire Temple. You have everything you need. You have an additional party member. And the very fate of Goron Village is under your direct supervision and care.
Was that an additional party member or a handicap?
We're going to
Yes.
find out next session, aren't we?
Oh man, spice of life.
So, this was an awesome session. I'm going to have a great deal of fun as we talk about this next week during our chat session.
Can't wait.
We currently have nobody following us who is broadcasting, so we will not be rating anybody tonight, but we'll see if next week brings a different story. So,
Alrighty.
to my players, Gully, Deacon, Nito, and Afine, thank you for an awesome session. I cannot wait for the next step in this campaign. Thank you to the viewers who tuned in to witness this. If you're watching it live, you're awesome. If you are catching the recorded session on Twitch, bonus too, and hopefully I'm going to try my darndest to get back on schedule with this, and hopefully we will have it uploaded to our YouTube channel by Monday. So, and I already know I love, like, honestly, one of my favorite things about the upload is figuring out what the thumbnail's going to be, and I'm already certain that I know exactly what it's going to be. So,
Gonna be a snail.
so I'm not going to give any hints, but
Or slug. What? I forgot. Slug, snail.
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 Snail. There we go.
Yeah.
Snail in the hand.
So thank you, everybody, and we will see you in the next session. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.